He turns up every time he's asked to deliver on the big stage. He's there and delivers.
Yeah. And Real Madrid, well, cruising.
Cruising. Coasted the first half, not at their best. We spoke at half-time about another gear or two. Rio mentioned that man Ronaldo, he was obviously the difference. But as a team, they also had another gear. Yeah. They took control second half, possession. You know, this is very much on the brink of being over as a tie, as we know now.
We mentioned it before the game. If Juventus have to come out and play, they're not as good as, not as effective. They had to come out to play, especially with going 1-0 down, and they were punished in the second half by a great, informed, experienced Real Madrid team.
And a truly brilliant, wonderful goal scorer. And as we talked about before the game, that Ronaldo's turned himself into almost a box player.
Yeah, he has. I mean,
only Real Madrid's goalkeeper had fewer touches than...
Yeah, we were laughing at that stat during the game, but it just tells you exactly what he's about. He's about end product. All these show reels that people have on social media, he could care less about all that.
So one thing about that goal as well that won't get mentioned, and obviously because of the skill of the finish, but is that he crossed that ball from the byline, and then the play carries on. Yeah. He gets back in the optimum position straight away for the ball that comes back in the box. It's not a surprise that he's there. The skill is surprise.
He may not care about his social media. I'll have a little bet with you. I bet he posts that goal at some point on his Instagram.
Yeah. I bet you any money he's thinking more about the miss that he made after that.
Yeah, the hat-trick.
He'd be slapping himself in the face in the mirror after the game. No.
If only he could finish.
Exactly. Zidane must be devastated he's got him in the team.
Yeah. Well, here it is. I mean, it's a bit cruel for him to see this now, but...
Great play again. Look, too much time probably.
It's the cross, as Steve said there on the co-commentary, doesn't need to have that much on it. Roll it into him, give him his hat-trick.
Do you reckon he's having a go at
basic technique? Get your head down, son. Get over the, get your knee over the ball.
It's a perfect cross. We'll be giving him a bit of stick.
The greatness is he will. Barrow's right. That will be on his mind. But wow, what a moment before that. Incredible.
Tomorrow night here on BT Sport, join us live from Anfield at 6:30 on 2HD and 4K UHD for Champions League tonight, followed by all the build-up to Liverpool against Manchester City. What a game that should be. At the same time on 3HD, Barcelona are at home to Roma. Then on Thursday, Arsenal are in Europa League action at home to CSKA Moscow. That's at 7:30 on 2HD and 4K UHD. Let's take a little breather. When we come back, we'll probably talk a little bit more about Cristiano Ronaldo. Even Zidane was shocked at it, and he scored a few decent ones in his time. Cristiano Ronaldo with one of the great Champions League moments and certainly one of the great Champions League goals, clinches it once again for Real Madrid. What a spectacular effort from one of the greatest footballers we've ever seen, and certainly one of the truly great goal scorers of our time. Real Madrid winning 3-0. Also, Bayern Munich beating Sevilla by 2-1, coming from behind in that particular game. We talked about Messi last week, didn't we? Yeah. Or 2 weeks ago, I should say. And now it's all about Cristiano Ronaldo. Those two just keep pushing each other on, pushing the boundaries of greatness.
Exactly. And would they have been able... That's the question that I always ask myself. Would they have been able to do this and keep this up, the relentlessness that they've shown without each other? If they was out on their own, no one else around, would they continue to have done this? That's the question I ask.
They probably do add to the motivation.
Yeah, 100%. I think all the great sportsmen in the world have always had that someone else to feed off. And I think this is another great rivalry in football. They don't talk about it. Seems like there's a bit of a respect between them. They don't ever mention each other, really. But they're just phenomenal to watch. And people try and make comparisons of who's better, etc. Just enjoy them, man. We're lucky
They're very
to be in
different
this time.
Footballers as well, in many ways. And what makes one better than the other?
Yeah, forget the comparisons. Yeah. They're setting standards. We're taking them for granted. We're expecting goals in big games to change games. They do it week in, week out. They're out on their own. As you say, completely different, but enjoy them. And even though they give off a different persona from the outside, and we see them differently, that hunger is the same. It just looks differently from the outside. They're both pushed on. They both want to beat each other, which has created this monster in both of them.
Yeah.
They both deliver at the right time. They both deliver in big games. We've seen them score in Champions League finals, in huge matches all over the world. They're different footballers. One's diminutive, one's a kind of Adonis, but they give so much to the game.
Yeah, they do, and they create highlight reel after highlight reel after highlight reel, and it's just phenomenal. That just each game, even at the weekend just gone, Messi comes off the bench, rescues the game for Barcelona. They're doing it week in, week out. And we talk about players that get to the top. There's many players that get there and stay there for a year or two.
Yeah.
These lot have been there for 10, 12 years doing it. And when you look back and you start looking at the stats, like we said before the game, he's almost, I think he's a goal off 650 goals, Ronaldo. That is more than I had appearances. What about you? Similar?
Yeah, similar.
It's like, it's ridiculous. So to see it when you put it down like that, these guys are just breaking rules.
It's difficult for everybody else. You can't live with that.
No.
When individuals that good in a team, it makes it very hard for every other team to deal with.
You can talk about players from different eras, and that's kind of unfair as well because things change in the game. Yeah. The pitches are much better now that they play on. The facilities are better. The diet, everything is much better, isn't it, now?
Yeah.
So it's hard to compare players from different generations. But the numbers... The numbers, the statistics of these two are truly extraordinary.
Yeah, that's what stands out. And the game is a lot quicker, I have to say now. So these things probably level themselves out. Great players in different eras will be great players anyway. But as you say, the numbers make a difference. People can overlook stats. You can't. They smack you in the face. Yeah. The stats are incredible. To say that he's scored more goals than appearances for Real Madrid, 650. I mean, that's abnormal.
I mean, I don't want to butter you up too much, you two guys, but you two world-class players, and you sit there. And we watch players and you're thinking, you're in awe of them in many ways, and they're at a different level to world class.
Yeah, you can't look at that. Yeah. Like, they're up there somewhere. Yeah. And all the other players in the world, don't care what their egos are saying and what they think of themselves, they're looking up there going, I wish, and I can't get to that level. They ain't going to get to that level. It's just, it's like Frank said, it's abnormal. Yeah. But what I would say about what it gives a team when you've got a player like that in your team, the confidence that spreads throughout the team that we do our jobs right, we just get it right ourselves, keep the back door shut, no goals against. He will score us a goal. He'll get us a chance minimum.
I remember when I played against Diego Maradona and met him on a couple of occasions, obviously the '86, the World Cup game where, not the handball goal, but the other goal. It was the one time in my whole career where I felt like I ought to applaud. I mean, you get those sort of moments of players having a respect for genius. Yeah,
and that, sorry to interrupt, Frank, but them type of goals, like, as a football fan, I remember the commentary on that goal. You know, that turns, a little squat man. Like, you remember things like that. It's like today, people remember where they were when that goal went in. And likewise, the Zidane goal in the Champions League final. These goals create great memories, and you remember that occasion and that time, what you was doing, what you was wearing, etc. Unbelievable.
I think, well, I can't split them at the moment, but I think they are over all the eras. And, you know, we see old videos, it's not easy to compare, but the ruthlessness, not just the ability, but the hunger and the ruthless finishing.
And the longevity.
Longevity. Game after game, year after year, scoring in important games, things that we take for granted. It's not been done before to this level, it hasn't.
By the way, he did score another goal. The first one in the game, after just, what, 3 minutes of play, something like that, and classic poachers type of goals, which he's capable of scoring all the time.
This is obviously massive in terms of the game as a whole, because it gave Real Madrid that footing. But again, clever, stand still, let the Juventus boys back off. I think the defending from Juventus is poor, because I think it's a strength of Italian defending is they defend their goal, but it's also a weakness, because as you see here, they're defending and they're dropping deep. Let's defend the goal. Let's defend that. Ronaldo's smart. I don't even need to go in there yet. Benzema's pinning his man. Wait, come from behind in the cutback, and he's across his men, and that's it. So poor defending from Juventus, but the great man. Simple, clinical movement and a clinical finish.
The top players don't allow you to get hold of them. They don't allow you to touch them. I played against Messi in Champions League finals both times. I reckon I touched him once, because they stay away. They stay away from that contact. And when there is contact, it's normally a defining moment like that. You get your hands on me, but I'm putting the ball in the back of the net.
Have we had a look at the overhead kick yet? Here it is. I'll never tire of seeing this.
I think it's just the athleticism. You're going to get stills of this. You're going to get pictures of this in the coming hours, minutes.
Bit of a cock-up here.
Yeah, Chiellini makes a mistake with Buffon. That's fine, but there's still so much to do here. Watch, like Frank said, he's on the byline there, gets back into position, running away from goal, and then leaps like that, and has the ability to guide it into that corner. This is textbook.
We've all tried it. You attempt something towards that in training, and of course many go wrong. I'm sure Cristiano's done it, but to be able to get that perfection, it's like a gymnast. The height of the ground is not normal, how high he's got. The timing and the execution of the strike itself, the moment in the game that's so critical like this, I mean, it doesn't get boring. That is so good. That is hours and hours of work and natural ability.
Got applauded by many of the Juventus fans in the stadium. Don't see that very often. I remember Ronaldo at Old Trafford, Brazilian Ronaldo, the other one.
I was there. I was an opposing defender at that
Ronaldinho, Ronaldinho at Madrid, Messi at Madrid once.
Even if you look at Zidane's reaction, he's got his hands on his head, kind of thinking like, what have I just witnessed there? I mean, that's what these type of guys are producing. It's just phenomenal.
But that skill's bigger.
14 goals, that's an incredible amount of goals, and we're only in the first leg of the quarter-finals. There you go. He's also now the top goal scorer in all the leagues. He's gone a couple ahead of Mo Salah, and of course Messi's there as well. He plays tomorrow. He'll be looking to bounce back in and do something against Roma. The Ronaldo overhead kick, we talked about Wayne Rooney one. Was it? Remember Trevor Sinclair's?
Trevor Sinclair's one was I think Trevor Sinclair's might have been better, but then it was in the Premier League and it wasn't at this stage in knockout football. I mean, sometimes it's a stage, but listen, they're all great goals. Wayne Rooney's one was off his shin. Sorry, Wayne, but it was. But it's...
Hugo Sanchez used to be brilliant. Played for Real Madrid in the 80s, Mexican striker. He used to score about 3 or 4 overhead kicks a season and then did somersaults to finish. He was a real gymnast, for those of you that are very old like me. We've also run a little poll on BT Sport on social media just to see if you think that was Cristiano Ronaldo's best goal ever. And, well, he's got 62%, 38% no. And the reason for that was, can you remember the goal? 40-yarder against Porto.
Yeah, I was behind it saying, pass, 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 go! Like, unbelievable. Like, it was a rocket.
Yeah. Yeah, you can still vote, by the way.
I can't think of the goal exactly, but a 40-yarder. This sounds really simple, but it can happen. You take a strike.
You can strike
There's so many elements of the technique and the moment of that I think for me that would put it as his best.
Yeah,
I think both are breathtaking. That's the thing, they do take your breath away, and these great players have that ability to be able to take your breath away. It's just, and we're just lucky to be in this era. I love it.
We are, and they take our breath away so frequently. It really is marvellous to watch that. This is almost a favourite, but look, even Zidane, who scored a few goals like that himself in his time,
There's only one manager I've ever seen do that before, that's Bobby Robson with Ronaldo at Barcelona.
Yeah.
When he scored a goal and he looked to the heavens and put his hand in his head, and that's the great Zidane doing that.
Yeah.
Tells you everything.
Zidane was probably a better player than Bobby Robson. Love Bobby Robson, that I do. He wasn't a bad player, but there's a difference somewhere. Right, there are other things that went on in the game. The third goal, Marcelo was the scorer of it, and Ronaldo got an assist, just to show that he can do that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, this comes after the red card for Juventus, so complete one-way traffic, but just to kill off the tyre, probably, this last goal. And Marcelo, how many times have you seen him do this?
This is brilliant.
Great little drag through the legs, keeps running. Ronaldo puts it back in his path. You know, again, Juventus defending suspect. Chiellini tries to have a little grab of him, but...
little cheeky megs there as well, aren't there?
Yeah.
Not bad for a full-back.
Yeah, there you go, boom, through there. But he's like a playground player, Marcelo. He just plays with so much freedom the way he plays. It just looks like he could be out in the park somewhere. Fantastic footballer, on the attack especially.
Yeah, brilliant.
Certainly is. Not Juventus' night, really. Kind of summed up, I suppose, in many ways by the fact their star man, Dybala, got 2 yellow cards. First for a dive.
Well, yeah.
Looked a dive. But
it did look a dive. I mean,
only he will really know. But.
Yeah, I mean, his original piece of skill was pretty good. Then he doesn't get any touch that he might have been looking for during the skill. There he goes, moves his feet, wants a touch, throws his arms out to try and be a bit theatrical, see if he can con the ref to a degree. Probably a fair booking, I would say.
He'd be disappointed today because he was one of the players given a star billing. Yep. That was a little bit similar to the Nani challenge for Man United. The same referee, by the way.
That's a straight red, though.
This was a straight red. This is a second yellow, but he'd be disappointed because he's billed as the next talent, the next wave of talent coming through to be a superstar. And
do you see him like that, though?
On tonight's performance, I'd say no, but I've seen glimpses of him that suggest that he has got the ability, the potential to get to that level. But
I suppose everyone really suffers by the fact that how good Ronaldo and Messi are. Everyone said, "Oh, he's the next superstar." Yeah, but he's not.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not fair to compare. And he's very young, and I think there's some developing, and maybe it might mean him at some stage move into a different league and that. But I think at Juventus he is the great young hope for them. but affecting games more regularly. Again, I'm thinking of Ronaldo and Messi, but affecting them more regularly, particularly these games, because they do define your career and how people see you. These are the moments you want to do it. He did it last year, to be fair, so that he'll be back. There'll be more moments from him.
Yeah, great talent.